Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mac and Talk episode 79 for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. I am your facilitator, Chanelle Allen. I am so glad that you are joining us tonight. Mac and Talk is an open Q&A conference call. Whether you have questions about using the Mac with VoiceOver, you're getting started and need some encouragement, or maybe you're trying to decide if the Mac is the right device for you in the first place. Or you could be a longtime user with a question about an app or feature, or just need some help troubleshooting. For whatever reason, we're glad that you are joining us now or later on via the podcast recording. Before we get to your awesome questions, I'd like to go over a few iBug announcements. We have over 25 events a month, and we always seem to add some, so I encourage you to go to our website, ibugtoday.org. One of the first things you'll want to do on that website is sign up to become a member. The link is Get Involved and then Sign Up. And by signing up and providing your email address, you will receive announcements of events that are upcoming in the next day or week or in some short time frame. And participating in all of our events is free. Being a member is free. We'd love to have you. Also on our website, you will find links to Mac and Talk for you to get subscribed to our Mac and Talk discussion email list. You can also listen to recordings of previous episodes as well as of our other calls. If you would rather listen on YouTube, you can definitely find us on iBug. Go to YouTube, look for iBug Today, and we have our channel organized into playlists. If podcasts are more your thing, well, just ask your smart speaker or go into your podcast app of choice and look for iBug Buzz, iBug Mac and Talk, iBug Apple Workshop, and iBug Cafe. Speaking of those are some of the events we have coming up. Not exactly, but tomorrow, March 25th. By the way, all times I will mention our Central Daylight Time and the same link you used tonight, the Zoom ID, they are your ticket to any and every iBug event. Tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Well, I don't know if it's 9 p.m., but anyway, at 7 p.m., we have the Homeland Hangout watch party, watching the series Homeland. It was premiered from 2011 to 2019. Won an Emmy, and we're in season 1, I believe episodes 3 and 4. They play the episodes, and then we have a discussion afterwards. On Thursday, March 26th, from 7 to 9 p.m., we have It's iBug's Life, led by George Batiste, on adaptive and life skills, issues, and tips and tricks. This topic is moving on up, and it's all about planning, organizing, conducting a successful move. On Friday, iBug Night at the Virtual Movies. Hope you'll join us for that at 7 p.m. For the pre-movie social, followed by the movie at 8. And our feature is The Rip. It's rated R from 2026. And then there's always a discussion following the movie. Then on Saturday, March 28th, from 2 to 4 p.m., the iBug Apple Workshop. If you want to hear the latest Apple news and rumors or hear some really neat app demos, well, please join us. As always, every Monday evening, we have iBug Buzz from 7 to 9 p.m. Central, and that's a great place for you to ask any of your iPhone, iDevice, and iOS questions. Sometimes those questions even come up in the course of talking about the Mac because the Mac and iOS are so intertwined. And so we really encourage you to go to iBug Buzz to get those questions answered. Actually, no, we don't have anything next Tuesday. That's it for our events. Now, I do want to draw your attention to the fact that we have something very special coming up in 2 months. We are celebrating 15 years of iBug. And to celebrate, as we do every year, we are having a $500 raffle. That is by purchasing one ticket for $10 or 6 tickets for $50. You get a deal there. You are entered into a chance to win a $500 gift certificate to Apple, Amazon, Google, whatever your choice. And that drawing will be conducted on May 23rd. You do not need to be at the event to win. Just go to ibugtoday.org for the details. Payments, we accept Zelle, PayPal, Square Cash, but all those details are on the website, or just email ibugtoday@gmail.com. Finally, though, one of you tonight will be a lucky winner. If you stay to the call until the end, until we, close at 8:30, you may win a $50 gift certificate from iBug. We do this every so often because we love participation on our calls. We love you coming, and so we really value that and hope that you'll stay till the end, because whatever lucky number is called, well, that might be you. And with that, let's go ahead and do introductions. Say who you are, where you are joining from, and if this is your first time. And I know some of you, it may be your first time since you're students in the current spring Mac training course. So I'm Chanelle. I live in Houston. And
This is Herbie.
Sorry, Herbie. Go ahead. Please go ahead, Herbie. No, you're muted.
This is Herbie in Houston.
There you go.
Robert in Chandler, Arizona.
Welcome, Robert and Herbie.
This is David from Arkansas.
Welcome, David.
Hi, this is...
I think I heard Carolyn.
Hi, this is Carolyn. I live in Virginia.
Welcome, Carolyn.
This is Robert from College Station.
Welcome, Robert.
This is Randy from North Carolina, and this is my first time on.
Randy, welcome. Glad to have you. We'll come back to you in just a minute. And who else was speaking?
Hello, this is Kenny from Missouri.
Welcome, Kenny.
Judy, Connecticut.
Welcome, Judy.
Audio now unmuted.
Michael, Cambridge, Ontario.
Welcome, Michael.
Megan from Mesa, Arizona.
Welcome, Megan.
Tim in Indiana.
Welcome, Tim.
Ozzy, California.
Welcome, Ozzy. Glad to have you.
This is Otto from St. George, Utah.
Welcome, Otto.
Ilana in Massachusetts.
Welcome, Ilana.
Paul in Columbus.
Welcome, Paul.
This is Eli in Malaysia.
Welcome, Eli.
John, BC, Canada.
Welcome, John. And anyone else? I believe we also had, I want to get back. Okay. And welcome, Charlene, if I heard that right.
You did.
All
Sorry,
right.
I'm late.
That's okay. Glad to have you. All right, let's get back to Randy. How did you hear about us, Randy? We're glad you're here.
Well, I'm involved in a lot of the other iBug events and calls, so I'm aware of this call start on the calendar, and I'm a new refurbished M4 owner and just wanting to learn what I can learn.
Yay! Welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Feel free to ask a question at any time. Welcome. Just going through our list here to see. It looks like we also have Ray. I know you briefly spoke up earlier, but welcome. You're muted, but we're glad to have you here. Okay, so
Thank you.
You're welcome. And are you new to our call?
To this call, yes, I've been listening to some iBug things, and I have to say I am completely impressed.
Wonderful. And do you have a Mac?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Do I use it very much? No.
That's
Which is
okay.
another reason to be here.
Exactly. You've come to the right place. Well, that's okay. Some of us start out not using it very much or used to, I used to use mine for Windows and but so it comes in stages and we're glad you're here on your learning journey. So,
Thank you.
Bookshelf. Notes.
all right.
149.
Welcome. Okay,
Notes.
David.
160.
Okay. So let's get started with our first question. Who would like to get us started?
Megan?
Yeah, go ahead, Megan.
I have a question about the podcasts app. Is there like an easy 1, 2, 3 step-by-step way to like jump through it and kind of get to know it? And be able to use it?
All right. Who on here has used the podcast app on the Mac?
So this is Herbie.
Yes, go ahead, Herbie.
So this is where knowing the Mac is going to help a little bit with that particular app. For instance, if it says like where you see it says collection, that can tell you right off the bat. Okay, if I want to see what's in that collection, I'm going to have to interact because that's one of your cues for needing to interact. We've not gone over things like app preferences or things like that. But there's also a universal find command that can really be helpful. Search command, Command F. And so, also knowing, again, you've kind of got like a split between like the Apple Podcasts and the library. Apple Podcasts being the entire rigmarole. So part of it is, it's doable, it's usable, but it kind of helps to know how to use the Mac a little bit, where to interact, where to like VO space on the buttons, how to use the mini player, knowing things like Command Up and Command Down or your volume controls, going into the menu bar that can also help out. So I know this is not an actual tutorial, but it's kind of, I can see where it might be a little bit of a daunting if you are a new Mac user, definitely.
Okay, yeah.
Daunting but doable. I think I don't listen to enough podcasts. I know one time we helped someone here and they were looking for a command on speeding the thing up and we found it in the menu bar. So it's amazing what you can find in the menu bar. And yeah, like Herbie said, just getting more comfortable with interacting. Has anyone else on here tried to use the podcasts app?
This is John.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Comment in both. I was actually that person who asked for the help.
Oh, okay.
And you guys are the ones who helped me.
Okay.
I kind of took a different approach because I'd love to be efficient with my commands and navigating, but I'm one of those who figured things out through trial and error and fumbled my way around. But I have to say, I like that the Apple menu has keyboard commands in there. So if you're ever wondering oh, how do I do different things, you can go to the Apple menu and it'll tell you certain commands. Otherwise, everything else Herbie said is pretty much how I'd approach it. Just knowing how you navigate your Mac in terms of interacting and uninteracting, and knowing the app layout in general helped me find my way to playing my podcasts.
Definitely. Thanks.
This is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So one of the things that John just touched on, which we emphasize in class, so this is why I'm bringing it up right now. So all the students. Hopefully, it'll be because this will be really helpful. One of the things we emphasize, and I especially remember, I mentioned in the review session like the 3M commands that you'll always need to remember, and one of them is VOM, which is your menu bar, and that can be often, especially with Apple default apps, but even with third-party apps, a lot of times that can be very useful for finding a lot of commands on for exploring applications and whatever. So
Definitely. All right. Well, good luck with the podcast app, and let us know how it goes. And who else would like to ask a question?
This is Judy.
Yes, Judy, go ahead.
Well, I just hearing Herbie. What were the other two M commands? VOM for the menu. Did Herbie say there were three to remember?
He did. He did. And let's see, does anyone here want to answer? Does anyone remember? I mean,
This is
you don't.
Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
VO Shift M.
Yep.
What does that do?
I think that brings up the context menu.
Oh, yes,
in an
I know that
application.
one. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And there's one more.
Robert.
Yes.
Robert.
VOMM.
Oh,
Very
he's
good.
the good Robert today.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And
that's
do you remember
the
what that one
help
does?
menu?
That is the systems menu.
Very good.
Yeah, the status menus, menu extras. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, like where you see all your system stuff, your Wi-Fi, battery. Yep. All right. Good review for all of us.
Thanks.
Yep. Next question, please.
Randy.
Yes, go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I was curious. How accessible is GarageBand navigating around to you? Let's say I want to record a presentation, and what would be the appropriate microphone?
All right. Has anyone used GarageBand?
It's Michael. I've not used GarageBand, but I have used and are using Logic. I think oh my gosh, what's his name? The Blind Logic. Look up Blind Logic in Google, and he calls himself the Oreo Monster. I think he has tutorials there on GarageBand. He certainly does on Logic.
Oh, that's right. And there is a series on AppleVis, a GarageBand, a whole tutorial series. I don't know if you've heard of the website AppleVis, AppleVis.com. And so I have seen it's like a 6-part tutorial on GarageBand there.
Randy.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that website. I haven't really looked in there for that information, but that's a good source. Thank you very much.
It is, and you'll find it in the Getting Started with Your Mac, and it's one of the guides in there. But even if you just type in GarageBand in the search, you should find it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who wants to go next?
This is David.
Yes, go ahead, David.
Is there a VO shortcut to shut down the Mac?
Well, let's talk about that. Who wants to talk about how to shut down their Mac?
It's Michael. The way I do it is I use the VOM, and then I arrow down to shut down, restart.
Yep.
That's what I've been using, but I thought there might be even a quicker way.
Yeah, I'll tell you oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Robert?
Go ahead, Robert.
Well, I use VOM to get to the menu, and then I usually do an up arrow, which takes me to the bottom of the menu, and shut down is just a couple up from that, or And the other thing that I do is when I get to the menu on the Apple menu, I can type SHU and it automatically goes to shut down.
Very good. Oh, were you saying something else, or were you?
You get, yeah, if you do VO
Yep.
space, you get the dialog box when you get to the shutdown menu, and then the return key is the default key to execute the shutdown, so you can skip over what the dialog box and go to the default item.
Yep. So I would really love to share, and I'm going to, a cool trick. When you are on shutdown, so you get to the menu, go to the menu bar just the exact way Robert and everybody said, arrow to shut down. But instead of pressing enter or VO space, hold down your option key first, then press enter. Then you won't have to deal with the dialogue. It'll just automatically shut down or restart. One thing, though, that is enabled by default when you shut down your Mac is there's a checkbox in that dialog that says automatically reopen open apps or something. So the Mac will load up with everything. If you've had a bunch of apps open, the Mac will start with those open. So you want to find that checkbox and VO space to uncheck it. So you'll need to go through the shutdown dialog in the traditional way to do that once. But then once you do, you can go into the menu bar, VOM, arrow to shut down, just like Robert said. Then you hold down the option key, and as you're holding option, press return. And that will cause you to bypass the confirmation dialog, and your Mac will shut down. So there you go. I always try to mention that in my first or second lesson, and I forgot this time.
This is John.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
On the other end of that spectrum, I learned something from someone else for starting up my Mac because I was always used to VO and arrow to the login button.
Mm-hmm.
And then a friend of mine just told me, no, you can just enter your password and hit return. I thought, oh, I felt like such an idiot when I heard about that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great when you learn these tricks that just speed things up so much. Thanks for sharing.
This is Charlene.
Yes, go ahead, Charlene.
So, Chanelle, are you saying that when you do that options enter, if you have anything that's open, it will go ahead and shut it down for you? You don't have to go through Command Tab and shut down each thing that you have open?
I would still try to do that because you don't want to lose any work. But what it does is it makes it so that you don't have to go through, because when you just hit enter or VO space on shutdown the normal way, you're brought into a dialogue asking you, are you sure you want to shut down, basically.
Right.
So if you do hold down option and press enter when you're on the shutdown, then you bypass that confirmation dialogue.
Okay. So your programs might still stay open if you haven't shut them down. Is that correct?
They might if there's a box that says reopen Windows when logging back in or whatever.
Okay.
If that box has been checked. Yeah. Okay. So you may want to go in and uncheck that box first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Michael again.
Go ahead, Michael.
What is the feeling on shutting down a Mac? I almost never shut down my Mac. I just leave it running all the time.
All right. Who would like to answer that?
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Well, first of all, there's definitely nothing wrong with shutting down your Mac. You're not going to harm it or anything like that. Is it necessary? I mean, it just depends, because you might be going away for several days. So you really want to keep your Mac up and running for that long, when it can just sit down and not do anything. Is it acting weird, and so maybe you want to give it a restart or a shutdown to see if that clears up some problems. So I will usually go I can go a week or two usually without ever needing to shut it down, but then in my case, there are some reasons why I do shut my Mac down because being a Mac Mini, I sometimes will take it to a different part of the house, and so I have to shut it down so I can unplug it and move it to another part of the house and plug it back in, and restart it. So obviously I have to shut it down because of that. But and then shut it down and bring it back in here and all that. But so it's not necessary, but there are reasons why you might need to.
Yeah, I get it when it's acting funky. Same thing with the phone, right? You reboot it. But yeah, okay, so it's fine. I mean, I never leave a computer running if I'm going away for any length of time. But I come in and out of my room, and hop on the.
Yeah.
So I hardly ever shut down either of my computers. But I also have the Mac Mini, and I've never had the urge to move it. So we're good there.
Well, this
Thank
is
you.
Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, different use case scenarios is why or why not. I refuse to use a Bluetooth microphone for my cooking project, and I've discovered that I can get the best use case for I can get the best case sound with using a headset microphone. And so I will take my Mac out into the living room and plug it in there so I can have my microphone cord reaching into the kitchen. So that's a very specific reason for me why I use my Mac. In other situations, I might not. I might just be fine with a Bluetooth keyboard if I need to use it around, like in the living room and looking up a recipe. So it's a very specific use case for me why I move my Mac. So
yeah, that's really cool.
But it doesn't. So so there's some, like I said, there might be some individual use cases why you might need to shut it down. But for my normal usage, I don't shut it down. No, I do let it go to sleep if it's not being used after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I don't even have that set up.
But because I figure because it does have a fan. Mine does have a fan and stuff. So I figure it probably does help the processor to have some kind of a little bit of a rest. But yeah, so that's.
When it's asleep, how do you wake it up?
My phone as well, so
When it's asleep, how do you wake it up? Just hit any key, or?
Well, I just yelled at "Wake up!" No, I press a key and it wakes up.
Okay,
it comes back to life in like less than a second. So.
All right, I will play with that. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually lately the past several months, I have, if I know, for instance, I don't use my Mac on Sabbath, Friday night to Saturday night, and so I will shut it down then. But good question. And
well, what if I manually want to put it to sleep?
You can do that. It's in the Apple menu. There's a sleep option. And you can also go into lock screen options and system settings to configure, when it goes to sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see the sleep, and then there's also log out, which is different again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is Herbie.
Yes, go ahead, Herbie.
So one thing that fooled me, even back with my older Mac, which was an Intel, is it doesn't make any physical sound to let you know that it's asleep. So at first I didn't believe that it had gone to sleep. And that was with the 2019 Intel Mac, by the way. So you can imagine how much more quieter these are. And then a log out, of course, for anybody that is wondering, that is if you have multiple users, and so maybe you want to switch users on your Mac.
Right.
So.
And can you even hear your Mac Mini? Like I don't even think I've ever heard mine.
If I'm doing some intense things on it, occasionally I do hear the fan, but no, for the most part I generally don't.
Yeah, they're very, very quiet. All right, perfect.
All right. Excellent questions. Who would like to ask the next one?
This is Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Wanted to know in the music app how I could get to where I could download my playlist.
Ah, okay.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So this is an interest. This is but it's doable. Of course, keep in mind that if you do have the first of all, I do want to mention if you want the lossless audio quality, that you'll need to go to Command Comma, and there's a toolbar you'll have to interact with, and VO space on the playback, and then you'll have to either VOJ or uninteract, then interact with the section that will enable all that. So I just want to mention that in case that's of interest. But to download the playlist, there is a sidebar, and I find sometimes I can get to it with VOJ. Right now I cannot. So there's a sidebar, and what you have to do is interact with the sidebar with VO shift down, of course, and then you have to VO right arrow. And you do have to specifically VO right in this sidebar, by the way. It will not work with just your regular arrow key, so make sure you VO arrow. And you're going to see things like home, radio, library, all that. I've not found a way to easily skip past all that. So then you'll have like songs, music videos, recently added, all that. Then you eventually get to your playlist. One thing that's different about the phone versus the Mac is if you have a playlist that starts with numbers, it's going to show up first on the Mac, whereas on the phone, numbers will show up last. If you already know that you want to download the playlist, you can once you find the playlist you want, do a VO Shift M, and that's going to bring up your shortcut menu, down arrow to download, VO space, and then it'll start downloading, and then you'll hear the tritone when everything is done. But I would just say, honestly, it's, unless you have a reason why you really want the physical copy on your computer, because it's not going to play outside of the music app anyway, you're just fine having it even, just playing it from the library without even actually downloading it. And you'll find the options under that shortcut menu to not only download, but to play, shuffle, repeat, that type of thing as well.
All right, thank you.
And now, students, you understand why we don't like to teach the music app as part of the main class, because it's a little bit of work.
Definitely. Who would like to ask our next question?
So this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So this is a question for the Mac and Talk at large, outside of the student body. Well, I mean, if anybody in the student want to answer this, but the topic has come up in class, and I thought it'd be a very interesting one to spread out a little bit. So does anybody make use of Siri with their Mac specifically? And if so, how do you find it useful, not useful? What do you use it for?
Excellent question.
Give them the crickets.
This is Judy.
Oh,
go ahead, Judy.
I have just recently been doing that. I'm trying to think of how I do it. I think I hold the command key and then hit the option key. The space bar. And I have been using it just for dictating a message like I do on my phone, and it works beautifully. That's probably one place. The main place I can think of. Just dictating a text message.
Okay.
And sending it.
Great.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Are you able to use Siri or intelligence to
don't forget
make
to say your name.
corrections? Oh, sorry, it's Michael. Are you able to
ahead,
use
Michael.
Siri or intelligence to correct when you've done the dictating?
Judy?
I had to unmute again. You know what? I haven't done that because when I just use Siri, he reads it back to me. And if it sounds good, I send it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
This is Charlene.
Yeah, go ahead, Charlene.
I have found that I can't do any editing with Siri. I either have to say cancel and then read it, dictate. I haven't been able to find a way to edit when dictating a message.
Yeah.
So this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
One major difference I will talk about just briefly with the Mac Siri versus the iPhone Siri is like, so with the AirPods, at least on my older AirPods Max, and I think this is the case even, I've not tried it with the newer ones. At least with my older AirPods Max, like Siri does not activate on the Mac side, like if I get an incoming message or whatever, but she definitely does on the iPhone. And yeah, even with like with somebody asked about editing, I don't know of a way to edit with Siri. I can definitely say like change my message if I want to respond. So I don't think it integrates on the Mac the same way, but I'm not a big Siri user even on the iPhone, to be fair. So I'm not a Siri expert by any means. But all right, anybody else comment Siri on the Mac? Use it? Don't use it? Thought about using it? I know we got several people on here.
This is Kenny.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
I have tried to use it. I have the Mac Mini M4 and have not had no success, even though it's enabled. Apple Intelligence is enabled. Listen to Siri, Hey Siri's selected, and it's just not working properly.
This is David.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
I have learned to put my iPhone under a pillow or set it in another room before I start asking Siri to do something on the Mac, because the iPhone will jump in there and take preference.
Yeah. And Hey Siri works well for you on the Mac?
It just uses Siri as a rule.
Right. Okay.
And I hadn't used it that much except, just playing with it, launching things. I didn't know you could do the dictation with it. Is there a specific key stroke? I think I heard the command space or what?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this next week, but Siri is different from dictation. You can use Siri to send a message, and by default, the key to activate Siri is command space. Now, I always recommend changing that, and it behaves a little bit differently with Apple Intelligence on, and we'll go over that, how to set the key and whatever, but to dictate, just to do straight dictation without using Siri, you have to turn that on, but once it's turned on, you basically can press like the FN key twice to start dictating and once to stop, and you can use pretty much in any text field. So the dictation is done, I think, directly on your Mac. Siri, well, I don't know how it all works, but I know they're both different and you activate them in different ways.
But if you want to dictate, be sure you're in a dictation field, or nothing will really happen.
Right. But you could say, to Siri, you could trigger the command and then say, send a message to Herbie, and so you can use both. They're not typically things that I use, but we'll go over how to turn them on.
This is John.
Yeah, hi, John.
So my experience may be outdated, but I think during the pandemic when I was on Zoom meetings, I think that was the one instance where I liked Siri on the Mac, was because I think I was still able to use Siri in a Zoom meeting, whereas if I did it on my phone, it conflicted. It couldn't access the mic because it treated it like a phone call. So if it still works that way now, then I may have reason to use Siri in that context. Otherwise, I've kind of gravitated more towards using Apple Intelligence and ChatGPT for like queries, but in terms of tasks, I just use Siri for very basic things on my Mac.
Okay, like,
Just like battery percentage or things that I'm lazy to look up with my keyboard commands.
okay. Yeah, I just don't even think about trying it. Yeah. But it definitely makes, yeah, more sense to have Apple Intelligence do the queries because Siri doesn't always understand. And in my demo for the lessons, I'll turn Apple Intelligence off and ask a question, and then I'll turn it on and get a, different answer. So, that makes sense.
Robert,
Yes, Robert.
you were mentioning dictation. You were saying the function key. Was that just the turn on the dictation with just the function key on the lower left?
Yep, if you press it, you will have had to turn that on, and you turn it on under keyboard. And if you go under keyboard, there's an area for dictation, and you can turn it on at keyboard and system settings.
Okay. And what's the difference between that and the microphone button, which I believe is F5?
Oh, well, the microphone button is F5. I don't think I was aware of that.
Yeah, I know Command F5 is turning off voiceover, but because I have
Right.
the keyboard changed so that the function keys are software, not hardware. But the F5 key is the microphone key when under the hardware.
Right. And so then you'd have to.
That seems to mean you would have to press the FN key and the F5 key.
Right. Yes, that would work then.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And you can set your dictation key. It doesn't have to be the FN. It can be the command key twice. It's basically pressing a key twice. Or maybe if you're using that FN, F5, you're just pressing it once. You'll have to play around with that. And then to stop dictation, you press it once. So.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So just real quick then, like getting back to the Siri usage, I will use Siri like if I want to make a FaceTime call or a phone call on the Mac. She's useful for that. That's actually sometimes the easiest way. So she's good for that. She can read text messages. Mail I did find a bit confusing. I tried that. You can definitely use it to query ChatGPT, I do think. And so I use it for little things like that, but I don't rely on Siri support for the Mac, so that's my own answer to my own question. So,
This is Charlene.
Yes, Charlene.
So I have a question in regards to what the last kind of couple of question was. I use the function key and then F5 to get Siri to interact with Siri and ask Siri a question, or say, Siri, send a message to so-and-so. So my question is, how is everyone else getting to Siri? Because it sounds like you're doing it a different way.
Yeah, so the default is command space, I believe. Once you turn on Apple Intelligence, if you see, I have mine set to options space, but if you hold it, it will talk to her. If you just press it, it brings up a screen to type your message. And you can go into system settings and Siri, and that's Siri and Apple. It's called Apple Intelligence and Siri, and that's where you choose the shortcut that you use. I need to review this topic a little bit before next week's lesson. I don't really, use it that much, but you can choose, one of different keys and use
Okay,
it.
that's pretty nifty. So hold down Command. If I go into system settings and set it just that way, I can hold down Command Space Bar. And if I hold it down longer, I can type it in instead of speak it, and that way it won't mishear me.
Well, actually, the problem is Command Space Bar is set for Spotlight. So I recommend Option Space Bar because sometimes the command is, and so if you hold Option Space Bar, you talk to it. If you just press and release Option Space Bar, you type to it.
Oh, okay, I got it reversed.
That's okay. That's all right.
Great. Okay, thanks. Nice new trick. Thank you.
But make sure, I don't know what yours is set to. So like you said, have a look at the options and go from there.
System settings keyboard.
It's so dictation is system settings keyboard, but Siri is system settings, Apple Intelligence, and Siri. Or if you haven't updated your Mac in a few years, it would just be Siri.
Okay. Thank you.
So they're two different things. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who would like to ask the next question?
This is Judy.
Yes, Judy.
Okay, so when I first got my Mac, just about, a little over 5 years ago, I've had the same Apple Magic keyboard. I love it. But is what I'm gathering now, do the new Apple Magic keyboards with the numpad, they have a function key on them now in the bottom left?
They do. And let's see. So you can still get I still use the old one. The new ones have, well, first of all, are you using the full size keyboard with the numeric keyboard?
Yes.
The numeric, okay.
Yeah,
so
the one where
I have the full size one with the numeric keypad. I still prefer this old one, and you can get that, but the new ones do actually have the FN key at the bottom left-hand corner, and Herbie uses one of those new ones. Right, Herbie?
Could I ask what
I
like
do.
advantages of it, Herbie?
So the new one has a built-in fingerprint sensor, and there's two advantages. The fingerprint sensor, in my case, not having a having a Mac Mini, I don't have a fingerprint sensor to begin with, so this is my only one. But if your Mac does have one, then you at least have the option of a portable one on your keyboard without having to touch the unit itself. So that may or may not be an advantage. The other advantage is that it's USB-C. So that means if you are upgrading your phones and stuff and you're wanting to get rid of lightning cables, it's one extra cable you don't need around for charging the keyboard.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then, okay, so on mine, that function key was always up in the 6-pack up there, which was always a pain in the neck. Did they move it down to the left corner to make
Yes,
it
this is
easier?
Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like is, yes, the function key is on the left-hand side now instead of on the 6-pack, and so I have to get used to control being right next to it, and it can throw me off, especially when I have to transition to the dark side, and I think something's the control key when it isn't on the other keyboards. But anyway.
But isn't it still in the 6-pack as well?
It still is, yes, but we do have an extra function key now on the bottom left, and that.
I never used the function key. Is that weird?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the function
Yeah, you can
key.
function without the function key.
Yeah, it's it's useful if you are, if you've turn the function keys so that they do hardware. I mean, if they do software, like if they're easier to use for voiceover commands, then you wouldn't have to press things like VO, FN, F8.
Right.
But if you wanted to adjust like brightness, you might need to press FN, F1. System volume, you can adjust by pressing the VO minus and equals keys. So those don't require necessarily the function keys. But yeah, you can, unless you could get by without having to use the FN key, definitely.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I definitely do, but I was wondering if I was missing something. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who would like to ask the next question?
This is Kenny.
Yes, Kenny?
Yes, is it, or I guess, what is the advantage of getting a Mac cleaning app? And could you clean your Mac without using an app, like manually?
Okay.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
The advantage of a Mac cleaning for the average user, there probably isn't one, but it can definitely find, hidden junk or whatever. Some advantages, there are some programs like when we were having issues with a program called Loopback and we needed to uninstall it. There were times when using the Clean My Mac, it could find components of the program to actually completely remove it from the system. So, it can do things. It can make sure, like Clean My Mac, for instance, can make sure that programs are fully uninstalled, not just deleted, for instance. So, and like I said, they can find junk, temporary files, things like that.
Yeah, and oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, it can also find apps that need to be updated. So I know some of you earlier, we were talking about the App Store it's still good to know how to use the App Store, but it can try to perform certain app updates for you. Clean My Mac is also... It searches a lot of places. Oh, that's right. So there is a guide on the Applevis website about how to speed up and maintain a slow Mac. And that's, basically it just talks about emptying the trash. And there's a few other places that it might have people, you could look for temporary files. I definitely Clean My Mac tries to get rid of, attachments that maybe just extra things that got downloaded that you don't need. I think it can be useful, but do you need it? Depends on how probably hard you use your Mac. I don't know.
It's Robert.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
I'm a big fan of Clean My Mac, and they've done some things in the last couple of years to make it really voiceover friendly now. They really put some work into that. It has an automated thing that you can run, which empties out several caches and removes unnecessary stuff that gets collected on the Mac that won't do any harm to remove it. You won't lose anything. And it'll do that automatically if you want it to do that when you run it. And it has all kinds of different features in it. Like it has, like someone mentioned, it has a great uninstaller. It has an anti-malware feature where it checks your Mac for malware, and it has just a ton of other things that you can run that will let you go through and get rid of files that you haven't used in a really long time, or let you clean up files on your iCloud drive. It's got a lot of stuff, but I really like it a lot. But I'm a geek, and I like to do those things.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So I'm one issue I do have though with the current Clean My Mac is there used to be a way that it could clear out all your previous addresses in Safari. And it seems like they've gotten rid of that option in the latest update.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So if I can just expand, it sometimes, when you're typing in Safari and it could clear out all the autocomplete suggestions, which autocomplete it would get from your bookmarks and history and things. And unless you cleaned up your bookmarks and history, there's no other way. But yeah, Herbie said it used to get rid of that stuff. I have combed through that thing. The key with Clean My Mac is sometimes you'll find a select all or clean selectively if you use your shortcut menu. So that's kind of a thing. But operating it from the keyboard is pretty easy. That I have tried combing through every category in that thing, and it doesn't quite do what Herbie wants, but it still does a lot.
It's Michael. Further question for that Clean My Mac. Does it also extend out to attached drives?
Yes, I believe it can. You can have it. I don't really. It's offered to check drives for me, I think.
Yeah, this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Yeah, it can.
Okay. So it can clean it up, it can check for viruses, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It must be a subscription, I take it?
It is, a yearly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
This is John.
Yes, John.
It's interesting. Well, we've had a couple of updates. We had a security update that ends in A, and then we had the Mac OS 26.4. And 26.4 went through fine. I did it today, but when I did A, it kept telling me your Mac is up to date. And then I heard on a radio show that if it doesn't do it by default, there was a menu I could go to. I think I went to a menu under privacy just to check if it was on, but oddly enough, I had to go into something to activate that security update. I don't know why.
Huh. Has anyone else had trouble getting the security update?
Robert,
Yes, Robert.
I didn't have trouble, but it's has to be done under privacy and security. The security update, that one that was done, wasn't released as a part of the usual software update. It was a special thing, and that's why you had to do it that way. It was the same for the phone as well.
Okay. Oh, I have not done anything with my phone. Or my Mac. I should. Okay, well, that's good to know. And so, John, you did eventually get it?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so the A one I did as Robert said, but the one 26.4 it went through without any issues.
Okay. All right.
It's Robert.
Yes, Robert?
That was the first time I had seen one of those A ones, which had to do with background security. I'd never seen that before, but I guess they've maybe done them before. But yeah, it was a whole separate deal. It wasn't through software update. It was kind of odd.
That is odd. I've never seen that either. Hmm.
This is John again.
Yes, John?
And as an update to something that was brought up in during MacBuzz, I just out of curiosity, I wanted to play around with AirPlay, and I AirPlayed some content from Apple TV from my phone to my Mac, and it did what I needed it to do. But the only thing I didn't like was just voiceover can be kind of hard to use, and then the voice, it seemed like the voiceover volume kind of like fluctuated. So I think if I just wanted to transfer things over like my media for general use, then I don't mind doing that. But I think I'd rather just go onto my separate device and do things that way because it made things problematic voiceover wise.
Yeah, I'm sure. So you were trying to play content on another device with AirPlay?
This is John.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, so I was on my iPhone and so I like to periodically I pay off my credit card through the website and of course I can't do that um I can't do that on my iPhone if I'm watching stuff. So I said, "Oh, I'll try AirPlay, transfer it, pay my bills and then come back." And I know what you're saying that well, I can pay my bills on my Mac too, but it's just I'm just more comfortable doing things on my iPhone. So I did it out of curiosity and I got it done, but it was just, yeah, those are my two issues. Was just, it'd be kind of, I felt like voiceover would be stuck and the volume would kind of fluctuate. So I think for general use, I do it if I want to save, if I just want to throw it over there for fun, but I don't think I'd use it on a regular basis.
That makes sense. I didn't. Yeah, I thought I'm guess I'm kind of confused because I thought you would only use AirPlay like for music, but I I mean I'm glad that you tried it out and figured out what works for you. I could see I don't know, but that's good to know.
This is Judy.
Yes,
I,
Judy.
I hope I'm not asking too many questions here. I can
No.
wait if that'd be better.
Go ahead.
Um, well, okay. So on my iPhone, I've been using Perplexity a lot. I'm pretty good at using it and getting my answers. I guess number one, can you get that on the Mac? And if not, or plus, how do you use? I've never used the AI on the Mac. Through Siri. How do you do it? What do you say? How do you do it? Do you say Siri, look up how to make chocolate chip cookies on Chat GPT? Is that what?
Yeah, something like that. Ask Chat GPT for has anyone else had experience? Um,
This is John.
yes, John.
So I haven't done it with my voice, but the way that mine is set up was I think it's the command key twice, and then there are boxes I can interact with it and type my query, and then I can interact where it has like the answers, and I like using it just because when I use it on my PC, of course, I have to use an app, so I like that it's just already integrated in there.
Yeah. And that's Chat GP with that you get connected to if you do what you do. You,
This is
Right.
John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, John.
Um, but I do have a follow-up because I also wanted to play around with it as an app, but when I went to the App Store, I had a hard time finding it for some reason. Typically, isn't it just um, ChatGPT something like OpenAI? I had
It
trouble
is
finding it.
Chat GPT, but I honestly think Chat GPT is a better experience on the web. I do have the Chat
Mm,
GPT app. It's just a little bit easier to read the responses on the web. And even it sometimes has
mm.
quirks, but you can give the ChatGPT app a try. I haven't in a while. Um, there are some things that are not labeled, like if you use ChatGPT in the app to work with audio recordings. I think it would work for basic responses, but sometimes if it's hard to read in the app, it's going to give you a multi-step thing. On the web, you can kind of move by heading,
Mhm.
and it's just easier to navigate. I do not know of a Perplexity app for the Mac. Getting back to Judy's question, I thought that there was a Perplexity type internet browser, but I don't know how accessible that
This is John.
is. Yes, John.
Oh, yes, so this is related. I was wondering if there isn't one for the Mac, could she find one like the iOS version under the Mac App Store?
Yes, definitely. It's worth a look.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that?
You can use certain iOS apps on the Mac or iPad apps.
Oh,
When you're doing it, if you have an M, one of the Apple Silicon Macs.
the M1 is what I
Yeah,
have. Yeah.
yeah. So if you do a search in the App Store and then filter it by iOS and iPad apps, then it would show you. Let's see if I go to the App Store. Perplexity. Excuse me. Ah. Well, there is an app in the Mac App Store. I don't know how accessible the app is.
It is Perplexity?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, for some reason it tried to put an extra I. Okay. Silly search. Perplexity. Perplexity Ask Anything. So it does look like a Mac app. And yeah, I don't know how accessible the Mac app is. But it's worth a try. So you wouldn't even
Yeah.
need the iOS equivalent. But I
Yeah.
do know that ChatGPT does tend to work better on the web, at least in my experience. Now, I haven't heard anyone else chiming in. Have any of you used any of these AI apps and services on the Mac?
This is John with a related question.
Yes, John.
So if an app isn't accessible with VoiceOver per se, like just like how on your iPhone you can label buttons, could you theoretically, like if you had sighted assistance, let's say from Apple Accessibility, could you label those unlabeled buttons to make it accessible, or it doesn't work that way?
Yes, you can. And I'm trying to. Oh, what is the. I think, let's see.
Is it
VO slash
Oh,
is your keyboard command.
okay.
Yeah. There are other apps, like I've used VOCR. It's on GitHub. And they've updated it. It's kind of, if you provide an API key, so like if you are using ChatGPT, and it's a little bit more advanced because you have to go to this certain place to get a key. I think it will describe, you can put it in a mode where it does describe the screen. There's also, other tools out there, but yeah, VO slash will label your screen. I thought it was that. So
Oh, thank you.
you're welcome. Also, if you do VO Shift L when you are on a control or a graphic, it will try to describe the graphic. It's not nearly as robust or as good as the iPhone, but it's a resource or a tool.
Oh, this is John again.
Yes, John.
You kind of inspired a question. So on the iPhones with Apple Intelligence, you can use visual intelligence. Did they bring over visual intelligence over to Silicon Macs?
Oh, I think so. I'm not sure. Does anyone else know?
That would be neat.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
I actually want to say no. Like, what particular aspect of visual intelligence are you thinking of?
This is John.
Yep.
Well, like, you have something on your screen and you just wanted it described to you.
That would be the VO Shift L that Chanel was describing earlier.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's there on the Mac, but the iPhone, if you're really wanting things like true screen recognition and things like that and picture description, I like Chanel said, I think the iPhone is a little bit better when it comes to that type of thing.
Okay.
But you will find a couple of things with that under the voiceover utility. And what I'm thinking of, let's see, if I bring up VOF8, let's see. Let's see. Oh, voiceover recognition. You will find a category for that. And image descriptions. Download additional languages is an option, and that's it. So for that, but so you can make sure that's enabled. But I think the voiceover on the phone is a little bit better for some of that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Robert?
Yes, Robert?
I use VO Shift L on emails where people have put a JPEG file or that in an email, and it will describe the image, and then it will tell me if there's any detected text on it, and attempt to read the detected text. And it works almost as well as if I were doing it on my iPhone, and it would describe it. So I found it to be a useful tool on some emails, and then on some websites where they have not put a description behind, haven't done all the filling in, and you're having trouble navigating. So if I get to a place and I don't get feedback, sometimes I do VO Shift L, and I'll get a hint at least of what's there on a website.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's been working for you, helping out a little bit.
And I'm running a Mac with an M4 chip. I don't know if that makes any difference, but I've got an M4 chip.
I don't know. That might. I don't know.
It doesn't work on my old Intel Mac.
Right. Okay.
But it does work on the newer Mac, and it works as well as my iPhone 15.
Oh, well, what do you know? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I was just looking earlier in that system settings, security, and I think I made it do that update. But yeah, I also need to get 26.4, so I guess updating is a two-step process. Who would like to ask the next question?
Well, this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Just a pleasant reminder, folks, for people that are coming late, do not go anywhere, because if you are on at the end of the call, you are eligible to win a $50 iBug Apple gift certificate, courtesy, of course, of the folks from iBug Today, which you can find on the web at ibugtoday.org. So, you do have to be on the call to be eligible. So if you are not and your name is called, oops.
This is Randy.
Yes, Randy.
Yeah, the discussion of whether perplexity was how accessible it may or may not be kind of remind me of a general topic excuse me, I think it was last year around the last fall's keynote, or Apple has an accessibility day, and they were touting, and I think it was kind of a nod to the developers and also to us as their customers, providing quote nutrition panels on the developers' web on about the description on how accessible, maybe what accessibility these particular. And I'm just curious, have you seen these on the Mac apps?
Yeah. Have you the nutrition accessibility labels? I know. I have not seen them. Has anybody else? Because Apple, they were supposed to provide something to where it would tell you how accessible the app was. That was my understanding of the quote-unquote nutrition labels. And
Randy.
yeah, Randy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it sounded like they were really, encouraging developers, if not kind of demanding developers provide this information so we, can determine just reading the information about the app if it's how accessible or not accessible it is.
That is part of the challenge in the Mac App Store is honestly being able to read the app descriptions. Sometimes they are you interact and it says group has 0 items, or it's been very tricky to read any descriptions in the Mac App Store. At least in my experience, the past year or so. Has anyone else? So has anybody encountered these labels? First of all, even in the iOS App Store.
This is Donald.
Yes, Donald.
I encountered them. In fact, today I encountered one.
Okay.
But I don't encounter them very often. I only encounter them every now and then. But yeah, I ran into one today, and it gave me a description, a label, a description of what kind of app it was. Was it accessible? Stuff like that.
And this was in the iOS store?
Yeah, this is in the iOS store.
Okay, so we don't know if they.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Just
Sorry
curious,
for being late, by the way. I don't want any problems with you
what
guys.
Mac was? So
okay.
this is Herbie. What do you remember? What app it was?
No, I wasn't sure. No, I forgot.
Okay,
I think it was one of the apps in there.
I could have tried to
see
if there was the equivalent on the Mac with the iPad.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
So are you saying that trying to determine if the app was accessible or not was not accessible to get to?
I meant even the whole description. Yeah, the whole app description. If, let's say I try to pick on this Perplexity again. I I can interact in the results for Perplexity, VO space on this, and then Perplexity at VO right. Okay, if I go into the details collection. Information section, interact. Oh, well, this is reading. Okay. Language. So some of these aren't accessible, like the general information about, but then the app, the size, the language, the age rating, that part was, but section containing, and then it doesn't tell me what's in there. Description section, let's interact. No, it is reading the description. Gives the website support. Okay. Ratings and reviews. Okay, well, this is a lot more accessible actually than I have found app descriptions and things in the App Store to be, but I am not app privacy. So there's a thing on their privacy practices, data link to you. Yeah, so... Oh, here's the accessibility section. Wow, it's way the way at the end. Okay. The developer has not yet indicated which accessibility features this app supports. Learn more. So, there you go. I guess maybe that's an answer for you?
Randy.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Were you able to get there using headings, navigating through that through headings, or how did
I was using VO right, and then I was interacting with anything that said section.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there you go. We found one of those labels. I never would have thought to look. Very good.
It's Michael. A question about the caps lock key.
Yes, Michael?
When I go into an email and I'm typing away and I realize that, because of all the VOing that I've been doing and stuff, I may have the caps lock on. I know with using screen reading software on the Windows side, it would beep when I put in, like, say, capital T for the, to let me know that caps lock is on.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything like that on the Mac side to tell me when I have the caps lock turned on?
All right. Who would like to answer that?
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Yeah, we'll make a little sound when the caps lock is on.
When you type with a capital letter?
Yes.
I've never heard
Or
it.
even just if you have a type in a letter in general.
Let's see. No.
This is Alana.
Yes, Alana.
I think it's in the verbosity settings. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, it could be. Maybe I've turned that. That's an interesting thing to go look at. Okay. Well, we're going into VoiceOver Utility next week, so
Okay.
yeah, I know like in password fields, VoiceOver will say your caps lock is being held down or whatever. Caps lock.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Yeah, so on mine, like, if you have the caps lock on, it makes a doinking sound no matter whether you're doing a capital or a lowercase letter.
Mine doesn't.
No.
Oh,
because
do
you
I have
disable all your sounds.
I
so.
have sounds off. Let's see.
So
if
let's
I
see. Yeah.
There, I unmuted my sound. So let's see.
I get all kinds of sounds, so that's not a problem.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You're right with the sound.
All right, folks, you heard it right here on this call. I am right.
We have way too much fun on this call. Let's just say that. Let's. My sound is always off. So that's odd that you have, and you're not hearing it. It's like a high pitched. With every letter that you type.
Yeah.
So you're not hearing that, Michael?
I am now.
Okay.
This is Herbie.
But I'm
Yeah.
not always.
Okay, interesting. Yes, Herbie?
Either A, you weren't paying attention, or B, your caps lock wasn't on. Also, I did want to mention, though, that if you are in the password field, it will tell you that your caps lock is down.
I just said that. But yes,
Yeah, okay,
good reminder.
Well, I've been doing other stuff.
This is John.
Yes, John?
I just want to say thank you for that because I always relied on VoiceOver telling me whether it was on or off. So it's good to know that there are additional verbosity feedback.
Yeah, and now I'll have to go look at the verbosity and the VoiceOver utility. I don't remember seeing that there, but maybe it is. So I'm going to have to go look. See, I'm always learning things from my students and from my husband. And
This is Kenny.
yes, Kenny?
Is there like with 26.4, is there any major update news on that? Or is it just a kind of like 26.3?
Okay. I have no idea. Let's see. Does anybody else know anything about what sort of thing, like voiceover improvements, just anything in general? What do you...
There was speculation that the use of Gemini as AI would be in 26.4.
Okay. Well, I do not have 26.4 yet, so...
This is Herbie.
Randy?
Yes, Herbie.
Oh, go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, what I heard recently, probably what Herbie was talking about is once again, Apple has delayed their original plans to implement some early parts of more intelligence on 26.4, so it may not come till later in the year, if that's what you're asking about.
And this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So yeah, just keep in mind when it comes to Apple, Siri is not a high quality thing. That is a known fact. Also, yes, what is under the verbosity, going back to our previous question under verbosity, that there's a checkbox for speaking, announcing when the caps lock is pressed.
Okay, very good.
And it is
Yeah.
now time for our drawing.
It is. So the moment you've been waiting for,
But
we are.
somebody left.
Yep.
Who left?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Audio muted.
Oh,
On.
but somebody else joined. Okay, hold on, folks.
No, somebody. Well, I'll give you a few minutes.
Give me. All right, everybody's gonna get muted here. Sorry, guys. I need to have everybody in the correct order. So, Chanelle, can you go over the announcements while everybody is muted? You cannot unmute yourselves at this time. I need to get everybody in the correct order. So,
Yes, I can indeed go over the announcements. So, tomorrow night, join us for the Homeland Hangout Watch Party, watching the first season of Homeland, a premiere show that won an Emmy. And on Thursday, we have It's iBug's Life, talking all about everything you need to know for moving, planning a successful move. All of our events begin at 7 p.m. Central, so iBug's Life on Thursday the 26th is from 7 to 9 p.m. Then, let's see, Friday, iBug Night at the Virtual Movies. We are watching The Rip, starting at 7 p.m. with fun and frivolity, our pre-movie social. Then the movie at 8 and discussion following. Then Saturday, iBug Apple Workshop, where maybe we'll get to hear more about these updates and what they have or not and what's coming. And that takes place from 2 to 4 p.m. How are we doing, Herbie?
let's keep going.
Okay, what else can I talk about? Well, we are having our iBug raffle, $500 raffle, and to celebrate our anniversary, to celebrate turning 15 in May. We are having a raffle. If you purchase one ticket for $10 or 6 tickets for $50, then you might be a lucky winner of an Apple, Amazon, Google, whatever gift card you choose to spend at your leisure. All you need to do is go to our website to find the payment details or email ibugtoday@gmail.com. We have next week, we have iBug Buzz from 7 to 9 p.m. for all of our iOS questions. We are watching Star Trek Voyager episodes, and I don't know if that's happening next week since it's the 5th week of the month, but we are in Voyager, and let's see, what else? I know we'll have a cafe the second week of April, the second Sunday, and I think we're talking about, what are we talking about? I don't remember. We have lots of things going on. So, Herbie, are you ready?
Hold on, guys. Everything. Oh, crap. This is a bit of an arduous process here, so I am just making sure that we get everybody numbered here, and so that way we have as fair of a process as possible. So that's why you're held in virtual prison. And with somebody leaving, I'm making sure that we have everybody.
Would you like me to ask a question? Would that be easier?
Hold on. Hold on. All right.
It's 2030.
We may have to do that for next time just to do something different, but... Okay, there we go. But what I will tell you in the meantime is one of the techniques I'm using to make sure that the Zoom names are spelled correctly is VO Shift C, and what that does is that copies
the last spoken phrase.
The last spoken phrase. Yep. So one of the cool things about the Mac is being able to do that. And with all this talk about AI, I wish there was a way to train AI to do what I'm wanting to do. But, oh, I see. My person who left. Okay, that is what's thrown me off. So... guess they did not need an Apple gift card. Okay, that's not good. I mean, that's... Okay, there. I think we got everybody. Let's see. So I have Paul at 18, 19, Randy... Robert. Yep, have both Roberts.
Well, I think Robert Carter is a mentor.
Oh, that is true, yes. So let's move him out. So that takes us down to 21. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, and now we got a phone number that joined us. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I muted everybody. Alright. With people joining and leaving at the last possible moment... Chanelle, I accidentally muted you. Sorry.
Let's just go with what we've got. Let's,
Alright. So if I did this right, we are going to pick a number between 1 and 25, or let's see. Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 25.
A random number between 1 and 25 is 8.
All right, number 8. And that belongs to Ilana.
All right. Well, Ilana, you may email ibugtoday@gmail.com to request your $50 gift card. If you're more comfortable, though, with me giving them your email address, then I would be happy to pass that along. And, yeah, so...
All right, next time we're going to do a different strategy that I think will work a little bit better. This was a bit too hit or miss. I do apologize, folks, but this is only our second time doing this contest, so...
Yep, and they wanted us to do this. Well, I mean, we're happy to do it, but yeah. So, yeah, Ilana, let me know what you prefer.
You can give them my email address.
Okay,
and
I'll
thank
do
you.
that. You're
That's
welcome. We're glad to have you, and thanks everyone for coming. Oh, I should have announced the next Mac and Talk. I don't remember when it is, but show up. We'll give you the announcement, and we're happy you're here. And have a good night.
April 20th.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.